I am standing in my new apartment, watching the sunrise through bare windows, and the silence feels different than it used to. Not empty, just quiet, clean. 48 hours ago I was married, had a home, had a wife who promised forever. Then her father made her choose between their crypto scheme and our future, and she picked them. I said one word. Understood. That night, I filed for divorce. The next morning, while she celebrated with her family movers, packed my life into boxes. She came home to an empty apartment and legal papers on the counter. 4 years of marriage ended because she chose blood over the man who actually bled for her. Before I tell you how a single phone call ended my marriage, drop a comment and let me know where you are watching from. Hit that like button if you believe in self-respect over blind sacrifice, and subscribe because what happened next taught me the hardest lesson about love, loyalty, and knowing when to walk away. Trust me, you will want to hear how this plays out. Let me take you back to where this really started. I married Lauren 4 years ago, back when life felt simple and full of promise. We met in college, fell in love over late-night study sessions and cheap pizza, and built what I thought was a solid foundation. She was warm, intelligent, working at a marketing firm with real ambitions. I am a software engineer pulling in around $95,000 a year. Lauren made about $60,000. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in the suburbs of Denver, Colorado, nothing fancy but ours. Together we saved $48,000 over 3 years. Every month a portion of both our paychecks went into that joint savings account. It was our future, our house, our kids someday, our plan. Then there was her family, Roger and Patricia. Her parents always had opinions about everything in our lives. Roger spent his whole career as a salesman, always chasing the next big thing. Multi-level marketing schemes that collapsed, real estate flips that flopped, always something. Patricia supported him unconditionally, and honestly, she had this way of trying to control Lauren that made my skin crawl. Then there was Kyle, Lauren's 30-year-old brother, still living with their parents, bouncing between gigs, always investing in some wild project that never panned out. I tried to respect them. Really, I did. Sunday dinners at their place became routine. I kept my mouth shut when Roger pitched his latest venture. I smiled politely when Patricia asked invasive questions about when we were having kids. I figured, that is what you do when you love someone. You tolerate their family. But there were signs I should have caught earlier. Lauren always asked her family for permission before we made decisions. Buying a new couch. Check with mom first. Planning a weekend trip. Make sure it does not conflict with family plans. I would say we are adults, we can make our own decisions. She would say they just care about me. That is all. I let it slide. Compromise, right? That is marriage. 6 months ago, everything shifted. We were at Sunday dinner, the usual setup. Pot roast, small talk, Kyle scrolling through his phone at the table. Then Roger got this look on his face, the one that meant he was about to pitch something. Patricia was practically vibrating with excitement. Kyle actually looked up from his screen. Roger announced he had been researching cryptocurrency for 6 months and found an altcoin about to explode. Not Bitcoin, not Ethereum. Something obscure, something only insiders knew about. He kept saying, this is bigger than real estate, bigger than stocks. This is generational wealth. He wanted to invest $20,000 from their retirement fund. Problem was, they did not have $20,000. They never did. Every dollar Roger ever touched went into his schemes. I sat there, fork halfway to my mouth, listening politely, but already knowing where this was headed. Roger does not understand cryptocurrency. He does not understand much beyond a sales pitch. He started probing. You young folks understand this tech stuff better than us old guys. I kept it vague. It is complicated and risky. That is when Patricia jumped in. But you two have savings, right? You've been putting money away. Lauren went red. We are saving for a house, Mom. Roger did not miss a beat. A house can wait. This opportunity will not. I set down my fork and said clearly, we appreciate the offer, but our savings are for our future plans. The temperature in the room dropped. Roger looked at me like I had just insulted his mother. Patricia pursed her lips. Kyle smirked. The drive home was silent. Lauren stared out the window. I finally asked if she was okay. She said they really believe in this. What if they are right? I almost laughed. Honey, your dad has believed in a lot of things. Remember the timeshare? The juice cleanse business. She nodded but did not look convinced. That was the first crack. The first moment I felt her slipping toward them instead of standing beside me. I told myself it was just dinner conversation. They would forget about it by next week. I was wrong. They were just getting started. 2 weeks later, Roger still had not let it go. He called Lauren every single day. Then he added both of us to a group chat. My phone blew up with screenshots of crypto charts articles about people getting rich overnight, graphs with arrows pointing up. Roger kept typing. See, I told you. We are missing out every day we wait. Kyle joined in too. Bro, I am putting my whole paycheck into this. You are crazy not to jump in. I tried not to react. I muted the chat. But Lauren did not. She kept reading every message, showing me her phone like it was evidence. Maybe we should just look into it more. I kept my voice calm. We already have a plan. A real plan, not speculation. She went quiet, scrolling through her phone, chewing her bottom lip. Then Patricia started calling Lauren privately. Mother-daughter talks. After each call, Lauren would be subdued, sad, saying her mom was worried about their future. I tried to be supportive. Your mom worries about everything. That does not mean we change our plans. But I could feel it. I was being pushed to the outside of my own marriage. 1 month and Sunday dinners turned into interrogations. Roger had printed out research, articles, handwritten notes, calculations about potential returns. If we invest $20,000 now in 1 year, it could be $200,000. He had it all laid out on the dining table like a presentation. Patricia aimed every comment at Lauren. Do not you want to help your family? We raised you, sacrificed for you. It was not a request. It was guilt wrapped in manipulation. Kyle got bolder. When I am rich, I will remember who was there for me. Then he looked at me. Some people are too scared to take risks. I kept my voice even. It is not about fear. It is about being responsible. Roger snapped back. Responsible? You are letting your wife's family miss out on changing our lives. He said it like that. Your wife's family, not your family. Like I was not part of it. Never would be. Lauren sat there, hands folded, silent. She did not defend me. She did not tell them to stop. On the drive home, I finally said it. You need to tell them to stop. She got defensive immediately. They are just excited. It will blow over. I gripped the steering wheel. It is not blowing over. It is getting worse. And you are not standing up for us. She turned to me, and her voice had an edge I had never heard before. Us, or you, because it feels like you do not care about my family. That was the first real fight. I tried to explain that protecting our future did not mean I did not care about them. She cried. You do not understand. They need this. I was so frustrated I could barely speak. We need our savings for our house. That was the plan. We went to bed that night. On opposite sides. Backs turned, silence thick between us. 2 months later, Patricia escalated. She texted Lauren saying Roger was losing sleep over this, his health was suffering. That they gave her everything growing up, and now they were asking for one thing. Kyle added, I guess some people forget where they came from. Lauren started losing sleep too. She cried randomly, could not focus at work, lost weight. I tried to be supportive but firm. We cannot give them our savings. She looked at me with desperation. What if we just lend them $10,000? They will pay us back. I stared at her. You know they will not. Your dad has never paid anyone back. She flinched like I had slapped her. That is mean. He tries his best. I softened my voice. I am not being mean. I am being realistic. This is our future. Her eyes filled with tears. Maybe you just do not want my family to succeed. That hurt more than anything. That is not fair. I have never said that. But the damage was done. We barely spoke after that. The distance between us grew every day. 3 months in. Roger turned aggressive. At Sunday dinner, he put his hand on Lauren's shoulder, looked her dead in the eye, and said, "Honey, we need to know if you are with us or against us." Patricia nodded. "Family sticks together. We have always been there for you." Kyle stared at me. "Do not let him control you. You are still a Patterson by blood." They were using her maiden name like a weapon. Roger leaned in. "We raised you to be loyal, to put family first." The implication was clear. Cade is not family. Lauren started crying. I do not know what to do. I stood up. "This is emotional blackmail." Roger stood too. "This is family. Something you clearly do not understand." Patricia added, "Maybe if you really loved her, you would want what is best for her family." I grabbed Lauren's hand. "We are leaving." The car ride home was the longest silence of my life. I finally said, "You see what they are doing, right?" She whispered, "I see my family hurting." I said, "They are manipulating you." She turned away and did not say another word. 4 months in, I came home on a Friday night and found Lauren sobbing on our bed. Her phone was lit up with dozens of messages. I looked over her shoulder. Patricia had texted, "Your father collapsed today, doctor. Says it is stress. Are you happy now?" Kyle wrote, "Mom had to call 911. But sure, keep your precious money." Then Roger, sounding weak, "I am okay, but I do not know how much longer I can take this rejection from my own daughter." I felt my stomach turn. "This is fake. Your dad is fine." Lauren spun around. "You do not know that I kept my voice calm. Call the hospital then. Ask for proof." She looked horrified. "I cannot do that. That is horrible." I shook my head. "What is horrible is them lying to manipulate you." Her phone rang. "Roger, FaceTime." She answered. He was sitting on their couch looking tired but perfectly fine. "Sweetie, I just need to know you love me, that you are on my side." Lauren was crying. "Daddy, I do love you." He sighed. "Then prove it. We need this. We need you." Lauren looked at me, her face streaked with tears, completely torn. I said quietly, "Lauren, do not let them do this." Roger's voice came through the phone sharp. "Do what?" "Ask my daughter to care about her own father." That is when Roger said the words that would end my marriage. "You have to choose, Lauren. Us or him. Family or whatever he is." Patricia's voice came through the speaker in the background. "Lauren, you know what the right answer is." Kyle added, "Come on, sis, he is not even really family." I stood there 3 feet from my wife, watching her face. She looked between the phone and me, shaking, tears pouring down her cheeks. I said softly, "You do not have to answer that." Roger's voice cut through. "Yes, she does. She needs to know where she stands." 10 seconds of silence. It felt like 10 years. I already knew. I could see it in her eyes. She whispered, "I." Her voice broke. "Daddy, I choose you. I choose family." The floor disappeared beneath me. Everything went cold. Roger's voice turned triumphant. "That is my girl. Come over tomorrow. We will figure out the transfer." Patricia gushed. "We are so proud of you, sweetheart." Kyle laughed. "Smart choice." Lauren looked at me, and I have no idea what she expected to see. Anger, tears, begging. I gave her none of it. I said one word. "Understood." That is it. Understood. No argument. No explanation. No second chance offered. She started to say, "Cade, I." I picked up my car keys. "I am going for a drive. I need to think." Her voice cracked. "When will you be back?" I did not answer. I just walked out. I drove with no destination. Just drove. My mind processed everything. 4 years, $48,000, countless compromises, and it all came down to this. She chose them. I thought about our wedding when her family tried to control every detail. The time she turned down a promotion in Seattle because Patricia said, "You cannot leave family." The baby conversations where her mom said, "Wait until we are ready." We. Not us. Them. Every major decision in our marriage, her family had the final say. I had convinced myself it was compromise, but it was not. It was me surrendering piece by piece. And tonight I ran out of pieces to give. I pulled into a closed coffee shop parking lot and sat in the darkness, hands on the steering wheel. I was not angry. I was done. I pulled out my phone and Googled divorce attorney Denver. Found one with a 24-hour consultation line. My hands were steady as I dialed. I need to file for divorce. How fast can we do this? The attorney said, if it is uncontested and you have documentation, we can file within 72 hours. I said, let us do it. Appointment set for 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. I looked at the time. 11:30 p.m. I sent Lauren one text. Staying at hotel tonight. Need space. We will talk tomorrow. She replied instantly, called over and over. I silenced my phone and drove to the Marriott downtown. Checked in, laid on the bed, stared at the ceiling, and felt the strangest thing. Peace. The next morning at 8 a.m., I sat across from the attorney, a professional woman with kind eyes. I walked her through everything. The manipulation, the timeline, the choice. I showed her our bank statements, the text messages from Roger and Patricia and Kyle, all of it. She said, this is financial coercion. Do you want to pursue separate property claims? I said, I want a clean break, 50-50 split of everything except the savings account that stays with me, since it is marital property saved for a joint goal they sabotaged. She nodded. That is reasonable. Colorado is no fault, so this will be straightforward. 3 hours of signing documents. The attorney filed with the court that afternoon. I called our landlord. We need both signatures to break the lease. I said I will pay my half through the end of the lease. She can stay or leave. Then I called a moving company. I need an emergency move within 48 hours. They said it would cost double. I said done. Scheduled for Saturday morning. Tomorrow. I called my parents out of state. Mom, Dad, Lauren, and I are divorcing. I am moving to an apartment across town. I am okay. My mom asked what happened. I gave her the short version. My dad said, you did the right thing, son. That afternoon I went apartment hunting. Found a 1-bedroom, smaller, cheaper, available immediately. Signed the lease that same day. That evening Lauren texted, where are you? We need to talk. I replied, you are at your parents' tomorrow, right? For the money transfer. She said yes. But, I typed back, we will talk after. Enjoy your family time. She sent confused, worried messages. I did not elaborate. Saturday, 7 a.m. Lauren got ready to leave for her parents' house. She hesitated at the door. Are you sure you do not want to come? I said. I am sure. You should be with your family. She tried again. We will talk when I get back, right? Fix this. I looked at her. We will definitely talk. She left, still clueless. 7:15 a.m. The movers arrived. I had already packed everything that was mine. Clothes, laptop, books, personal items, furniture I owned before the marriage. I left everything that was ours. The couch we bought together, kitchen stuff, decorations. I took my coffee maker, my desk, the bed from the spare room. The movers worked fast. 4 hours. By 11 a.m., the apartment was empty of my existence. I walked through one last time, saw our wedding photo still on the wall. Took it down. Not out of anger, just finality. I left it on the counter next to the divorce papers. I had typed and printed a note. Simple. Factual. Lauren, I have filed for divorce. You will be served officially within a week. You chose your family and I respect that choice. I am choosing myself. The lease is paid through December. You can stay or break it. The savings account is mine per marital property law since you intended to give it away without my consent. Everything else is split as outlined in the papers. My attorney will contact yours. I hope your family's investment works out. Take care of yourself. Cade. I left my keys on the counter. Forwarding address on the documents for legal communication. At noon, I closed the door behind me and did not look back. The movers were already at my new apartment when I arrived. I spent the afternoon unpacking. At 3 p.m., my phone exploded. Lauren, what did you do? 20 missed calls. Voicemails of her crying, screaming, begging. Roger called me a son of a bitch. Patricia demanded to know how I dared abandon her daughter. Kyle called me a coward. I blocked all of them. Unblocked only Lauren's number temporarily for legal purposes. Sent one message. All communication goes through attorneys now. I have said what I needed to say. She texted back. You cannot just leave. We are married. I replied. You chose. I chose now. We both live with it. Then I blocked her again. The first week was chaos. Lauren showed up at my work. Security escorted her out after I informed them of our separation. She somehow found my new apartment address and left notes on my door. Please talk to me. I did not mean it. We can fix this. I collected every note and gave them to my attorney as documentation. Roger showed up at my workplace too, yelling that I was destroying their family. I told him calmly, I am not part of your family. You made that clear. Security escorted him out. I filed for a restraining order against Kyle after he tried to fight me in a parking lot. The court granted it. 500 feet minimum distance. Some mutual friends reached out. What happened, Lauren is devastated. I gave them the short version. Some sided with me. That is messed up, man. You did what you had to do. Others sided with her. Marriage is about compromise you gave up too easily. I let them believe whatever they wanted. At work, I volunteered for overtime, dove into projects. At home, I hit the gym, meal prepped, read books. Nights were the hardest. Quiet alone, memories surfacing. But no regret. Just clarity. Peace. Underneath the pain. 2 weeks after I left, I learned that Roger's sure thing crypto had crashed. They lost everything. And suddenly nobody was calling me anymore. Week 3, my attorney confirmed Lauren had received the official papers. She signed everything. No contest. My attorney said she is being cooperative, unusual for someone who was begging you back. I said she knows she cannot win this. Turns out Roger and Patricia did not just lose money in a crypto crash. It was a complete scam. A fraud. $20,000 gone. Kyle's paycheck investments gone. They had nothing. No savings, no investment, no generational wealth. Patricia tried to borrow from Lauren, but Lauren had nothing either. They had already planned to take our $48,000. Lauren sent one email that got through before I updated my filters. You were right. About everything. I am so sorry. I do not know how to fix this. I read it twice. Then I replied, you cannot fix it. Some choices are final. I hope you find happiness. Take care. No anger. Just closure. The divorce finalized 60 days later. Colorado minimum waiting period. In December, I received the final decree in the mail. 4 years of marriage reduced to a legal document. I felt relief mixed with sadness. Not for Lauren. For who I thought she was. The first month alone was adjustment. My small apartment was quiet. Simple mine. I developed routines. Work, gym, cook, sleep. I discovered I actually liked cooking for myself. Tried new recipes. Thai curry, homemade pasta, smoked brisket on my little balcony grill. I joined a gym with better equipment and focused on my health. Weight training became a physical outlet. Morning runs through the park cleared my head. I started reading again. Fiction, biographies, philosophy. Got a library card for the first time in years. Weekends changed completely. I used to dread Sunday dinners. Now I looked forward to Sundays. I started hiking. Colorado has incredible mountains, and I had forgotten that. My first solo hike was 15 miles. Challenging, rewarding. At the summit, looking out over the valley, I felt something shift inside me. Not happiness yet, but the possibility of it. I realized I had forgotten who I was during my marriage. Not entirely because of Lauren. Because I made myself smaller to fit into her family's demands. I started seeing a therapist covered by my work insurance. She said you were in a codependent situation, triangulated by her family. She used terms like emotional abuse, financial coercion, and enmeshment. I had never thought of it that way. Our sessions helped me understand. It was not my fault, but it was my responsibility to leave. She gave me homework. Journaling, setting boundaries, rediscovering interests. My old college friend Jake reached out. Heard through the grapevine you are single. Want to grab a beer? I hesitated but agreed. We met at a brewery downtown on a Saturday afternoon. Jake said, "Man, I'm not going to lie, we all thought you had lost yourself." Turns out other friends felt the same way. I had become unavailable, controlled by Lauren's schedule. Every time we invited you somewhere, it was, "I need to check with Lauren, or her family has plans." I got defensive at first, then realized it was true. Jake said, "You are back now, though, that is what matters." I reconnected with my friend group. Game nights, sports bars, hiking trips. These people accepted me as I was. No conditions, no demands, no manipulation. Just friendship. Simple and uncomplicated. I met new people through them. Expanded my social circle. Joined a recreational soccer league, something I did before Lauren. My teammate Marcus said, "You play with Fireman." "Where did you learn?" I said. "Used to play in college. Gave it up for life stuff." He said, "Well, glad you are back." Small comment, but it meant everything. 3 months post-divorce, I got a LinkedIn message from Lauren. I was surprised she tried that route. The message was professional, distant. "I saw you got promoted. Congratulations. You deserved it. I also wanted you to know. I moved to Portland. Fresh start. I am in therapy now, working through things. I understand why you left. I do not blame you. I am sorry for everything. I hope you are happy. You deserve that, Lauren." I read it twice. Felt nothing. No anger. No sadness. No longing. Just acknowledgement. I did not respond. There was nothing to say. But I appreciated the message. It showed she was growing too. I closed LinkedIn and went back to work. The promotion she mentioned, senior software engineer, came with a $20,000 raise. I applied after the divorce, and my confidence had returned. My supervisor said, "Your work has been exceptional lately." I said, "Just focused." 6 months later, spring arrived in Denver. The city bloomed, and I felt different. Not completely healed, but functional, happy even. My morning routine became sacred. Coffee on the balcony, watching the sunrise, planning my day. Work was engaging. My team was good. I felt respected. My friend group was solid, with regular hangouts. I was in the best shape of my life, training for a half marathon. Financially, I had rebuilt my savings, already at $12,000 again. I still had the original $48,000 invested wisely and growing. The dream of owning a house was still there, but I was not in a rush. Dating. Not ready yet. Not interested. My therapist said, "You will know when you are." I was content being solo, learning myself again. One Saturday, I went hiking with Jake and Marcus. Difficult trail, 14,000-foot peak. At the summit, the three of us stood there, exhausted and exhilarated. Jake raised his water bottle. To new beginnings. We all drank. I looked out at the mountains, stretching forever. I thought about Lauren, Roger, Patricia, Kyle. The manipulation, the choice, the divorce. And I felt gratitude. Not for the pain, but for the clarity it brought. Marcus said, "You good man?" I smiled. "Yeah, I am really good." And I meant it. Genuinely. So what did I learn from all this? Love without self-respect is just sacrifice. You can love someone and still choose yourself. Staying when you are disrespected does not make you loyal. It makes you complicit in your own diminishment. Family is not an excuse. Real family builds you up, does not tear you down. Manipulation wrapped in family values is still manipulation. Blood does not give anyone the right to control your life. Sometimes the hardest choice is the right one. Walking away from 4 years felt impossible, but staying would have cost me my identity, my savings, my future. Short-term pain for long-term peace. You cannot save someone who does not want to be saved. Lauren made her choice. I could not force her to choose differently. All I could do was decide what I would tolerate. And silence is an answer. When I said understood, I said everything. No arguments, no begging, no explaining. just acceptance and action. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away quietly. Life is not about avoiding hard decisions. It is about making them when they matter and living with the consequences with your head held high. I do not know where Lauren is now, or if her family ever learned their lesson. I hope they did. But that is not my story anymore. Mine is about a guy who learned that choosing yourself is not selfish, it is survival. And sometimes the family you build is better than the one you are born into or marry into. I am still climbing mountains, still rebuilding, still figuring things out. But I am doing it on my own terms. And you know what? That is more than enough. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had to choose between someone you loved and your own self-respect? How did you handle it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Subscribe for more real stories about life-tough choices and finding yourself again. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it helps someone out there realize that walking away is not giving up. It is choosing yourself. Stay strong, take care of yourself, and remember, you deserve people who choose you back.